Welcome back, my friends. Did you know that Spanish is a global language and it is spoken by 486 million people as their mother tongue? Spanish is the official language of 20 countries in the world, but is spoken in many other countries too. It is the world's fourth most spoken language. Spanish is considered a Romance language. It is a descendant of various dialects of Latin and can be traced back to the 9th century. Okay, now that you know all about Spanish, can you speak Spanish based on the information I just gave you? Why not? I just gave you valuable information about Spanish. Don't worry, I'm just pulling your leg. Just because you know about a language doesn't make you fluent in speaking that language. In Ephesians 4:20, Paul says to the Ephesians that you have not so learned Christ, not just about Christ, but learning Him, directly hearing Him, being taught by Him. It's not enough to know about something. It has to be internalized, practiced, like learning a new language. How do we do that? Thankfully, Paul gives us another picture that helps us understand. Clothes. How many times a day do you change clothes? Once, twice, 3 times a day? Do you end the day with the same clothes you started out with? I know, I certainly don't. We change our clothes based on the temperature, the season, the activity we do, and where we are. Our clothes give out a message of what activity we are busy doing. Not so in Paul's day. Most people just had 1, maximum 2 sets of clothes, and they did everything in it. So when they got new clothes, which was basically a robe and a tunic, it was a pretty big deal to change into the new clothes. And that's the metaphor Paul uses to tell the Ephesians that once God is directing your life, everything changes. Let's read Ephesians 4:22-24, which says, "You were taught, with regard to your former way of life, to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." Or as the Living Bible says, throw off your evil nature. The old you that was a partner in your evil ways, rotten through and through, full of lust and sham. Now your thoughts and attitudes must all be constantly changing for the better. Yes, you must be a new and different person, holy and good. Clothe yourself with this new nature. And this reminds me of the verse in Isaiah 64, verse 6, that says that our righteous acts are like filthy rags. It's only when we clothe ourselves with this new nature that we truly become a new and different person. The robe of righteousness is to replace the filthy garments of self-righteousness. Paul warns us that our desires, if under the old man, are deceitful and ongoing. For example, how many desires seem to promise happiness, but in the end up in sorrow? Or that promise freedom, but only end up as slaves or addicts? I can do whatever I want. I'm going to live my life in a way that makes sense to me. And then you end up addicted to whatever freedom you thought you had. There's only one way: clothing yourself with the new nature. How? Paul says that our attitudes and thoughts must all be constantly changing for the better, which we'll talk about later this week. And that is our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.